Right now in this market, people are panic selling. I'm here to tell you to just RELAX, relax. Welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher. So let's jump right into it. We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is going on YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and thank you for joining me for another video here on the channel. I've been listening to everyone out there in the community complain for the better part of a year and a half that comic book prices are crashing, and they are. But if you're a long-term collector, I'm telling you right now, and you're buying the right books, your books will always go up, and they are good investments. So with that said, I want to welcome you to my channel if you're a first-time viewer, and of course, if you're not, and you've been watching me for a while, and you haven't subbed, do me a favor, click that sub button for me. I also want you to hit that like button because it really helps the channel out. If you haven't checked out all the new merch I have for sale down below, you're missing out. The link is in the description of every video. Now today we're going to be talking about Silver Age comics, and right now there are great Silver Age comics, especially on the Marvel end, some on the DC end, but either way I wanted to touch base on some of these books and get into where they've been and where they've gone over the past 20 years, and of course we're going to be using GPA to do that. Now we're going to start with the king of the Silver Age here. We're going to check out Amazing Fantasy 15. Now from my own experience, I bought an Amazing Fantasy 15 right out of school, right when I got back into collecting as maybe like a 23 or 24 year old, right around where GPA is tracking this stuff right now, around 2003. So we're going to start there. So let's take a look at this chart for a 2.5 grade. In 2003 there were 4 sales, the high being $1,650 and the low being $1,121. Could you imagine right now buying an AF-15 for only $1,600? That would be mind-boggling. But let's jump ahead to 2008 in a 5-year difference, guys. There were 8 sales at a 2.5 for a nice $3,951 at the high and $1,800 at the low. So if we're just comparing 2003 to 2008, if you bought in 2003, you've gone up over 100% at the high point. At the low point, you're probably up about 30 to 40% in that range, still making an incredible amount of money if you bought during that time period. But let's jump even further ahead and check out 2010. Now, if you bought in 2008 and then you sold in 2010, there were 6 sales at a 2.5, the high point being $3,450 and the low point being $2,000. Let's jump ahead 10 years from 2010 to 2020, where the market was absolutely on fire. Now, there were 9 sales at a 2.5, the high being a crazy $14,800 and the low being $12,000. Now, we're talking about what? From 2010 for $3,500 to just over $14,000. That's 500% on your money. A great investment over a 10-year period. Even at the low point being $2,000 to jump up to over $10,000. Again, up another 500% in value. But wait, that's not it. Let's compare it all the way up to right now, August of 2023. So far we're about 8 months into this year, and there have been already 5 sales. The high point being $26,400 and the low being $18,500. So you could say to me, Lawrence, you know what? I only started collecting in 2019, and you're still up almost $10,000, if not more, if you got in 2019. I do understand, guys, that in 2022, this book went absolutely nuts to a high of $45,550 and the low being almost $27,500. Hey, if you got at the low point of 2022, the $26,000 high of this year is not that bad. You're still just about where you are. Maybe you're down about $1,000. Not a big deal. The whole point of me showing you is this: not all books are created equal. And we're talking about the Silver Age today. This is the king of the Silver Age. If you bought this book and are willing to hold over the 20-year period, you will consistently make money. This book is a great investment. So the next book we're going to talk about is another blue chip key from the Silver Age. It is a copy of Tales of Suspense number 39 and the first appearance of Iron Man. And we're going to do the same thing and check out the same years. So again, if you bought this book in 2003, again, there were only 4 sales at a 3.0. That's the grade point average I'm using because I figure it's still affordable in my opinion. The high point for that year was $434 and the low being $414. Wow, really steady book back in 2003. We're going to jump all the way to 2010 this time. There were 8 sales of a 3.0. Now, the high point of that year was $1,315, the low being just under $1,000 at $999. So again, we're still tripling our money, a 300% gain since 2003. Again, at the low point, again, the same exact thing, more than 300% on our money if you bought at the low point of 2010. So again, we're going to jump ahead, go out and check out. This time we're going to do 2018, right when the market really started to kick off, in my opinion. There were 13 sales at a 3.0, the high being $4,896 and the low being $2,977. So we jumped ahead 8 years in this instance. And again, this book is still up tremendously over that time. So I'm telling you, timing is everything. So let's compare 2018 to the high of 2022. The high of 2022 was $13,038 on just 4 sales the entire year. The low was $9,100. So again, if we compare that again to 2010, we were at $1,300 and $1,000, and now all of a sudden at the high we're at $13,000. This book is up 1,300% over that time period, roughly, from the high and the low. Again, now it's compared to 2023. Again, if you got in 2018 and there were 13 sales in 2018 with a high of almost $5,000, the high right now in 2023 was $9,000. You've gone ahead and got 100% on your money. That is unheard of in any investment category. Again, till this day, is Tales of Suspense 39 a good investment? You're damn right it is. Over a 20-year period, you're talking about $400 to almost $9,000 from low to high, just where it is right now. A tremendous investment. We're talking about almost a 2,000% gain. Absolutely phenomenal. This book is definitely an investment book. You just have to buy at the right time. So if you're going to buy it right now, in 20 years, where do you expect this book to be? Next up, let's talk about Marvel's Scarcest Key. You guys know what that is. It is a copy of Incredible Hulk #1 and the first appearance of the Incredible Hulk. You cannot believe what I'm about to show you. So the GPA data goes back on this one to 2002. Now there was one sale at a 1.5. That's the grade point average I'm going to use. And guess what? The high of an Incredible Hulk #1 in 2002 was $888 on just one sale. So that was also a low. Guys, imagine picking up an Incredible Hulk #1 for under $1,000 right now. That's just mind-boggling to me. Let's jump up to 2009 this time. There were 4 sales at a 1.5, the high being, again, only $956, the low $800. This book didn't do anything from 2002 to 2009. We're talking even about after the Incredible Hulk movie came out in the MCU, this book actually did nothing. If you guys have been watching my channel from the beginning, I've been telling you guys that this book has been so undervalued for such a long time, but it is finally caught up. Let's go out and check out in 2018. We're talking about 9 years ahead. We skipped out 7 years from 2002 to 2009. Now we're going another 9 years into the future to 2018. In 2018, guys, there were 5 sales at a 1.0. The high being all the way up at $8,400. The low down at $5,300. So you had anywhere from 2002 to 2009 where this book was $1,000 and it has gone up 800% over the past 9 years from 2010 to 2018. That is absolutely crazy. This book jumped up crazy over that time period. But let's compare it to the height in 2021 this time. There were 3 sales at a 1.5 in 2021. The high being $12,022, the low being at $9,000. You're still getting about 33% on your money, a solid investment. The low, if you bought at the low of $5,000 and you got it to $9,000 in 2021, you've almost got a 100% return. It does not stop there. To this day, right now, we have a new all-time high of 2022 for a 1.5 grade. The high in 2022 on one sale was $14,495, and again, the low was that exact same number because we only had one sale in that time frame. Major Marvel keys from the Silver Age are tremendous investments, this being one of the better ones that still hasn't come down, and that's because it was so undervalued for such a long time. So let's talk about X-Men, because that's really what a lot of people out there in this community collect. They love their X-Men, and the biggest X-Men book of all is X-Men #1. I can tell you this right now, this book was almost worth nothing way back in 2000. So if you check out this chart again, it starts in 2002. There were 4 sales and a 2.0 grade, relatively low grade for this book. The high being only $500, and the low, believe it or not, guys, was a crazy $158. Imagine picking up an X-Men 1 right now for only $150. Timing is everything. So we're going to jump up and go ahead right to 2010 and see what this book did. In 2010, there were 7 sales at a 2.0, the high only being $900 and the low $561. But again, you're talking about just under 90% gain in a 8-year time frame. That is still a phenomenal gain. But hey, if you still hold on and you held that book to 2019, in 2019 there were 19 sales and a 2.0, with the high being $3,900, the low $2,611. This book went up 400% in that time frame. Again, a whopping increase. So the people out there who are saying that these books and comics in general aren't investments, you guys are dead wrong, because you're not getting any type of return like that in that time frame anywhere else. So let's jump right up to where we are right now and talk about 2023. So far in 2023, there have been 12 sales at a 2.0, the high being $7,000 and the low being just around $5,000. So if you bought in, let's say, 2018, $3,550 compared to $7,000 where it is now, just at the 100% marker. Even in the high of 2021, if you paid $10,995 or the low of $4,606, you had a chance to make money where the book is right now. So again, yes, 100%, these books are investments. So the last book we're going to take a look at today is a book that has actually gotten demolished over the past year and a half. We're talking about Fantastic Four number 48 and the first appearance of the Silver Surfer. Now, this personally is one of my favorite Fantastic Four books, but it has really gotten killed. There are so many copies out there, and there are still to this day so many that are listed for sale. But let's jump into the data over the past 20 years and see how it's been going. So again, like always, we're going to start in 2002. There were 3 sales at a 4.0 grade, the high being $170, the low $113. Again, finding an FF48 for just that little money. I know it's been 20 years, but to this day, we would take that deal all day long. Let's jump over to 2010. There were only 3 sales in 2010 for this book. The high being, again, $150, the low $107. You're talking to me over basically 8 years. This book has gone down over that time period. Not a lot, but a little bit. Hasn't gone anywhere really. So let's jump again another 10 years. Let's get to 2020. There were a whopping 45 sales in 2020. We're talking about in 2010 and 2002, 3 sales and a 4.0, to 2020, there being 45. You can see how many people jumped into the comic book market during this time. The high of that time was $1,445. The low, $690. Still not bad for this book. Let's jump ahead just 1 year to 2021, where shit really went sideways. The high, $3,120. The low, $1,125. So again, doubling your money in just 1 year. Let's jump ahead 1 more year to 2022. On 37 sales, the high was $2,660. The low, $1,283. So we had a decrease about 33%. One thing's right for sure, guys. If you see a decrease in 33% probably in your money in just under a year or so, that's a good signal. Maybe you want to get out. This book really took it on the chin. But regardless, if you bought this book a hell of a lot earlier, even earlier to 2018, where the book was just about $1,000, you're still making money. Let's go to this year, 2023. There's been 30 sales so far in a 4.0 in just 8 months. The high being $1,599, the low $740. This book is still coming down. But again, if you bought this book in 2018, 2020, or beforehand, you're still in the positive. So again, am I going to go out and buy an FF48 for investment purposes? Probably not, but there are a lot of Silver Surfer fans out there that want to own this book. And if you've owned this book for the better part of 10 years, you've definitely made money. You're in the green. So yes, 100% I'd be owning this book going forward in the future as well. I hope I've really given you guys some insights of these books over the long term, and they apply to most of the Silver Age major keys out there. So when we talk about books going down in value, and I hear people screaming from the rooftops that AF-15 is not a good buy, it is a good buy. If you plan on flipping that book within a year or two, I definitely wouldn't be buying anything right now. But if you're a long-term holder, like I've been saying since day one, you are making so much money hand over fist. And I'm going to give you an example. I said before when I started this video that I was lucky enough to get an AF-15 back in, I think, 2003, 2004. And I paid about $4,000 for the book at that time for a 2.5 Blue Label. That's why I use that example when we talk about this video. I ended up selling that book for exactly $4,000, maybe like 3 or 4 years later. So again, I didn't hold on long enough. Didn't sell it for any reason. I just thought maybe I wanted to get out of comics again. And then when I came back in 2018 for a 1.5 AF-15, I paid $10,000. So we're talking about 1.4 less. I paid almost 3 times the amount for the book. Let's fast forward a little more. I actually ended up selling that 1.5 AF-15 for close to $18,000 a few years later, and actually paid for my 2.5 signed by Stan Lee $18,500. So you see how this works. If you want a better copy or you want to own books for the long term, for these major keys, they always go up in value. It's just about timing. So if you're panic selling right now, that is not the right thing to do. But I'm going to give you a big caveat. Do not buy any of these books unless you love the characters. That is key, because you'll never feel that you got a bad deal. Don't go out and just buy these for investments. And if you are buying just for investments, buy the right books, the AF-15s, the Hulk ones, the X-Men ones, the Fantastic Four ones, and so on and so forth. Those are the books I want to own. I also want to remind you, I'm going to be doing a Bronze Age investment series as well, so make sure to stay tuned for that video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.